Right, welcome to the video. We are going to talk about disc brakes. We're going to run a bit of B-roll here of Natasha riding the bike, of me riding the bike, just a bit of B-roll for the audience there. And we're also going to talk about, today's topic is disc brakes versus caliper. Right, now disc brakes are a scam, are they a fad? You see it all over Peter Sagan getting paid to ride disc brakes on Tour de France, controversy, all this stuff out there on the internet you read. We're going to tell you the truth about disc brakes versus caliper, pros and cons. Do you need disc brakes? Do calipers better? What's the deal? Let's get into it. First of all, a bit about me. Been racing. Got my first UCI road bike license in 1997. So, bit of background in racing and road bikes. Never had a driver's license. Age 41 now. Had a lot of bikes in my fleet. You can also see here a lot of bikes behind me. I've got about 24 bikes at the moment. I've got more bikes coming, more bikes going. I love bikes, live, breathe bikes. Disc brake bikes, first road disc I had was 2015. I got the hydraulic Shimano Dura-Ace Giant Defy with the RS 785 brakes and stuff like that. So I rate it, I like it. Would I get another disc brake bike? I wouldn't. For my style of riding, I don't need disc brakes on the road. Mountain bike, for sure, it's a no-brainer. But for me, I don't need disc brakes on the road. If I was a bike messenger, I'd run disc, But for me, my sort of riding, what sort of rider am I? I'm fitness, high speed, climbing, aggressive climbing, stuff like that. So for me, it's all about weight. I like weight, lightweight bikes. Now, weight doesn't matter. Weight doesn't matter much. But if you're riding with guys or girls who are, maybe a couple of seconds up the climb ahead of you, or 10, 15 seconds ahead, then weight starts to really matter. Or maybe 30 seconds ahead. If you're doing maybe 30 minutes for a time trial, and they're doing 29, 30, then weight starts to get a bit more focus there. If you're minutes behind, weight doesn't matter. So it depends what sort of rider you are. If you're like me and you like weight, you like the feel of a super lightweight bike, 7 kilo bike, then calipers for sure. Also, while I use disc, Natasha likes the disc brakes on the long descents in the wet. It gives her more confidence in traffic, so that's fantastic. For me as well, in traffic, if I was a bike messenger again, then yeah, disc brake, hydro discs for sure. On my e-bike, I run disc brakes because you need stopping power. But I don't really need much power on my road bike brakes because I'm not really going bombing down hills that much. I'm more, again, like I said, aggressive uphill rider or ultra endurance rider where you're doing 20, 25, 30k an hour for 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 k's across Australia, whatever. So you don't need to hydro disc for that, in my opinion. Even my bikes, touring, ultra bike packing, it's generally pretty lightweight setup. So for me, disc brakes is overkill for that. And maintenance, if the pads are rubbing or the lines are going to be re-blared, there's more money, there's more weight in that. People say, oh, but your discs, you chew through rotors, but there's much less money than a rim. Well, a lot of my alloy rims cost me about $100 or less. A couple of rotors is 20, 30, 40, $80. So a rim can last a lot longer. Right? If you're using carbon rims, then yeah. So for the average rider, it depends. I'm confusing a lot of people out there. What I would say is grab a copy of my ebook, During Rider's Lean Body Bible. I've got heaps of bike buys, tips and guides and stuff in there. So if you want to really learn more about cycling tips, hundreds of tips in there, then I recommend get a copy of that. But to answer your question, you got to ask yourself, a disc brake's better? Yes and no. A caliper's better? Yes and no. If you want absolute stopping power, get hydraulic discs with a 160mm rotor, assuming your frame can handle 160. Assume it's been designed for that. If you want maximum stopping power, get hydraulic disc brakes. If you don't care about weight, hydro disc. If you want every value for money, you want the lightest bike possible for the money, and overall, then stick with caliper brakes. If you want ease of use, stick with caliper brakes. All right. If you live in wet climates and you do a lot of traffic and riding in traffic, then the hydro disc is really good. If you like carbon rims, and you don't enjoy carbon rims on caliper brakes, then carbon rims with disc, good idea. For me, most of my bikes alloy rims, and is there a spider on my back? Is that a spider on my back or something? There's some little black thing on the back there. I don't know what that is. It could be a spider. I don't know. What's that on my back there? Tasha, could you?
It's a fly.
Oh, it's a fly. It's a bit late for flies on the back anyway. So yeah, if you want stuff like that. What I wish the bike industry did was bring out direct mount brakes on more of their bikes. Because direct mount brakes you get a bit more power, and you get better tyre clearance. Disc brakes are allowing better tyre clearance on a lot of bikes these days. So the industry is pushing disc brakes as superior. I disagree and I agree. It's an option more than a necessity. So if you want better power while stopping brakes, then yeah, disc brakes are going to be great for you. But if you're like, if you don't need more power on the brakes, then why get disc brakes? You know, why get disc brakes? You know, so there you go. If you want more power, get disc brakes. If you want more speed, climbing fast, speed, power, every second matters. You really, you're really eating a high carb, low fat vegan diet where every gram matters for you body weight wise. Then stick with the calipers. If you're on a tight budget, then stick with like a 105 caliper. These work so fucking fantastically good. Works so fantastically good. So there you go. Give you some options there. Disc brakes a scam. For some people they are, for others they aren't. Depends on what sort of riding you want to do. Always ask yourself, what sort of riding do I want to do? And then match your equipment to that. End of story. If you have any questions, see you soon. See you next video. Thanks for the support. Thanks to the sponsors. See you later.